are few people on the call, this will be a very intimate session for you. It could be a one-on-one coaching call. I don't know, right?
Yeah, great.
It's 10 o'clock now. So give me an idea, a little background, please, Lise. How long you been in real estate?
About 8 years as a licensed real estate agent. And then I worked for an investor wholesaler, prior to that, a few years before that.
Okay. And 8 years full-time as an agent now?
Yes.
Where are you out of? What state?
I'm out of Georgia.
Okay. Have you heard of the Closing Gurus?
I have not.
They're out of Atlanta, Georgia as well. Nonetheless. So how's the last 12 months done for you? How you doing?
Slow. Very, very, very slow.
What do you attribute that to? What do you think?
Well, I think one thing is that because business had been slow, I moved to a new area. I just went ahead and I'm revamping my business, basically.
Okay.
I'm really
So I don't know
focusing on the senior
I don't know what
market.
slow is in comparison to what you normally do. What would you say, quote unquote, is a normal year for you? Closings.
6 transactions. 6.
Okay. And last year was how many? Last 12 months?
1.
Okay.
I had a bunch of things fall apart.
Okay.
But
so listen, and again, we have more people joining. Good morning, Carlene. Good morning, Ronaldo. Welcome back, brother. So
Hi.
I'm going to very quickly. It's going to be very intimate. I'm getting everybody to the bank today as fast as possible. If you've not been on my calls before, hang on, right? Hold tight. However, it's a small group, so I want this to be very intimate. Do not let me run away from you, as sometimes I get too excited, and I do. Carlene, you look new to me. Is this your first time here?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
What brought you here?
I was invited by Felicia Sarasano.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you guys the long and short. I'm sorry?
I'm in Cape Coral, Florida.
Wonderful. I'm in Celebration, Florida. Used to be in Naples. My son's in Fort Myers, so we're neighbors.
Awesome.
Wonderful. So let me do this for you guys. I'll do a brief intro because Lisa is just coming back for the first time in a little bit. Carlene, this is your first time. So my name is Paul Conti. I am the perspective coach for this group. I am your perspective coach. Gang, little teaser. I made it up. Because so many people came to me over the course of my 20 years of coaching and said, that's a unique perspective. I never looked at it that way. That's a really neat way to see things. So I'm going to share with you today an altered perspective that makes you money. I teach nothing but fact. I have never brought anything to any coaching environment that I haven't already been able to support through my own production and or the production of others. So what I share with you today is fact. You will make money when you apply what I'm going to show you. It's that simple. Now, it's a small group, so we can be intimate. Again, don't let me run away. Here's a question for all of you. I was just very fortunate enough to have a chance to speak at EXPCon in one of their breakout rooms. Wow, right? What a big deal. It was awesome. And here's what I did. When I stood up on stage, I had everybody stand up. You're sitting in your nice house, comfortable on a Zoom call. Don't worry about standing up, but understand the concept. Everybody stand up. And now, only the people that closed at least one buyer or seller in the last 12 months from your homeowner's insurance agent remain standing. 3/4 of the room sat down. I'm talking to you three. Think about this. In the last 12 months, you are allowed to remain standing if you closed at least one transaction from your home inspector. More people sat down. You're allowed to remain standing if you close one transaction from your photographer. A couple more people sat down. And now we got serious. You're allowed to remain standing if you close 3 transactions from your financial advisor. The rest of the room sits down. The point I'm making with you is I invest a lot of time and energy into a couple of things. Number one, linguistic execution, words and depth. You're either killing it because of the words you're using, or you're getting killed because of the words you're using. Let that settle in for a minute, right? So I put a lot of energy into your performance. How are you performing? Lisa had mentioned, and Carlene and Ronaldo, you can all share this as well. She mentioned the last 12 months have been a lot of it down from where she normally is in production. And it could be a whole bunch of different things going on. What I generally have heard, and it might not be applicable to you, and you can share, outside of family, health, financial crisis, outside of that, interest rates, inflation, and inventory. Interest rates, inflation, and inventory. And then I'm like, okay, that's the triple I. We got the triple P: pandemic, pivot, profit. Has nothing to do with COVID. You're either coming from a pandemic, you're in a pandemic, or you're about to enter a pandemic. It's called life. You must adjust. What is your pivot? Well, the reason I started with the sentence that I started with you and at EXPCon was because we are walking past business literally on a daily basis. And here's the joke, but serious. Here's the joke. I want you to think about your favorite drive every day, to the food store, to the hairdresser, to the coffee shop, wherever that is. Think about that favorite drive. You ready? How many fire hydrants did you pass? Nobody's been ever to answer that question unless you're a fireman. We drive past those red things that stick out of the ground that saves lives. We're walking, driving past them every day. Does that mean they're not there? No, they're there. They're there, but we're not paying attention. Here's my point. Now we're going to go all the way back to the first question where I had everybody stand up. You tell me why people that make money from you aren't contributing to you. This isn't about, well, I ask, I don't ask, I get referrals from. No, it's not about that. It's about operating as a actual chief executive officer, CEO, chief executive officer, which in my world means something else as well. Are you celebrating every opportunity? I would question and say no, because none of you were able to say yes to all of those things. Behind me on this board, which I'm going to share with you, is a real world scenario that just happened on Friday. I do this every single week. So you will not have the ability to complain about the interest rates, inflation, and inventory when I show you how to make money, which have nothing to do with those three things. I'm going to stop and take a breath. Ask me a question. Gang, just stay here for 20 minutes and then you got a million other things you can go do. But if you're going to attend here, I'm telling you, you're going to make money. It's really that simple. There's nothing else to rush to. I'm not being rude. I'm being straight. If you're going to invest the time in this poll, you better show me how to make money or I'm not coming back. Ready? Hakeem is a financial advisor. By the way, as I mentioned many times before, all of my coaching calls are recorded. This is recorded because these people need to learn this, and the people that are going to be hiring me need to see it. We don't believe it unless we see it. Okay, I'm going to let you see it and hear it. Now that you believe it, are you going to do it? That's simple. He is a real estate agent. He says to me, Paulie, based on your board of directors education, that's what I teach, I got a guy who's my best friend for over 5 years. He's also my financial advisor. We're in the same networking groups. We put on seminars, events. I've sent him client after client after client. In 5 years, he's never sent me one. Remember earlier when I said you're only allowed to continue standing if you got a client from your homeowner's insurance agent, your home inspector, your photographer. Then we threw financial advisor out there. So don't worry about giving me an excuse that you don't have one, or I don't like them, or she's, or nothing. Just let the concept sink in. He says, Paulie, can we get this guy on a recorded Zoom call and you can coach him on how to be my partner instead of just my friend? I'm like, no problem. Let's do it. We have that coaching call. It is recorded. Tonight on a 7 o'clock coaching call for the Atlanta, Georgia group that I coach, I'm playing this call. That team is going to get to see it. Financial advisor. Great call. Loves it. I'm in. Wonderful. Here's what you need to do. And I'm summarizing for the sake of time. But the idea is that you have a guy that loves you and is giving you clients, but you're not displaying the same kind of love. You haven't given him a client, not in 5 years. And yet you claim he's your boy in your head. not in reality. Gang, listen to this very carefully. It's just my perspective, doesn't need to be yours. Thank you is not a word, it's an activity. Thank you is not a word, it is an activity. You have to actively prove you're thankful. Saying thank you does not make my mortgage payment. Saying thank you does not put my kids through school or put food on the table. That's why I say thank you is not a word, it's an activity. If you're so thankful, prove it. Financial advisor gives me a client. His name is Cam. The reason he gave me a client is because I'm a mortgage guy in all 50 states. So these guys get together. I use the coaching platform as leverage to get mortgages. I will help you make money. And when I honor my word, will you help me make money? It's a partnership. You should have that with every one of your board members, insurance agent, inspector, photographer, title, attorney, list goes on. You know that. You had service provider conversations with them. You didn't have partner conversations with them. Questions or thoughts before I go on? This is a lot to digest in one call. Carlene, I hope you're happy you came. You still stayed on, so I don't know if you like.
Hey,
Any
Paul,
questions?
Do you need to give them clients before they give you back referrals? Is it going to be
So
coming to
the
you
short
first, or-
answer, Ronaldo, brilliant, yes. So let me share this mental strategy with all of you to entertain Ronaldo's question. It is so relevant because context is more important than content. Context is more important than content. Watch this. Carlene, if I invited you over to my home for dinner, would you bring a bottle of wine, candy, flowers, something? Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, gang, what am I doing now? I am leaning into something we've all been conditioned to do. Mentally, you're all there. You're at the front door bearing gifts. Thank you for inviting me over. Watch this. Carlene invites me to her house. I show up at the front door. Carlene, I just want to let you know, no wine, no flowers, no candy. I want to see if I like your cooking. I want to see if I like our company. I want to see if I like your decor. And maybe if you invite me back for a second time, I'll bring something then. The vibe is entirely different. She might not even let me in.
No, I'm
92?
too nice. I'd be like, that's okay. Come on in. And that's why I'm not getting partnership level because I'm
Find
too
something.
nice to ask.
Okay,
You
but
hit
let's
it
do
right
this
on the
now.
head.
I love it. Thank you, Carlene. I need you just to identify the storyline. Personal etiquette. Almost every one of us shows up with something. Personal etiquette. Now let's go into the professional space. You call them networking groups. I call them not working groups. I just changed the E to an O. For most people, they're not working. Now, we go into that professional space, and what do? We sit with the financial advisor and we tell him about the future. When somebody needs financial services, when somebody comes to me and asks for a financial advisor, I'll send them to you. You've got a break in the communication, gang. It's the same thing as coming to the door empty-handed. Why would you do that? Why do you think it's going to work in the professional space when it didn't work in the personal space? And yet that's what we're conditioned to do. Meet with people, network, socialize. People do business with people they like, know, and trust. It's a bunch of crap. It's just my perspective. Here's why I say that. So many people come to me from those groups and say it's not working. And the reason is you're not bearing gifts. You are not following personal etiquette. So now the idea is this, gang. If I knew I had a meeting with a financial advisor on Friday and today is Monday, I invest the next 4 days in getting that financial advisor a client. You are not permitted to meet with that financial advisor unless you are bearing gifts. Not wine, not cheese, not crackers or candy. It has to be a client. But Paul, how do I do that? Oh, it's easy. It's so easy. Listen to the data. 65% of the population does not have a financial advisor. So if you talk to 10 people today, 6 of them need a financial advisor. It doesn't mean they're going to hire your guy, but they might entertain a conversation with your guy. The easiest thing for me to do, I call family, friends, I call closed clients. And I take a survey. That's it. I take a survey. Now we can go into greater detail about that, but that's the point that I'm making here. If you're meeting with people without bearing gifts, you're wasting your time. When I coach people, I will not host the coaching call unless you've done your job and found that professional client. Here's why. The law of reciprocity says, I will get back in like kind what I've given. If you showed up and met with that financial advisor and only talked about the future, guess what he's going to talk about? The future. And it's never now. You're wasting your time. I will not host the call. When you show up and give them a client, we now hold them accountable to give you a client. Real estate agents ask for referrals. Why? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Asking for a referral. You don't get paid for a referral. You get paid for a client. So if you're giving this guy or girl a client, you want the same thing in return, a client, not a name to check a box like good luck. No, I didn't do that. I gave you a client. Let me show you. Let me teach you how I did that. Come on, gang. Ronaldo, does that answer your question?
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
Great question, brother. Now let's get to the board. This guy, Dre, gives me a client. The blue is what the client told Dre he was looking for. I am looking for a HELOC, home equity line of credit, of about $70,000 for mom to make repairs on her home. Mom's home is worth $5.25. The mortgage is about $240. My goal is to eventually buy mom's home in about a year after it's all fixed up. That's what he went to the financial advisor for help with. What did the financial advisor do? Immediately brought me in. Why? Because we had the coaching call and I taught him how to be a partner, not a provider. So I'm installing the reflex. Mortgage, Paul. Real estate, Hakim. Mortgage, Paul. Real estate, Hakim. Do you see that? He's not just waiting for it to come to him. He is intentionally asking. Long and short. And this call is recorded. I said to him, why are you waiting a year? Let's do it now. He's going to purchase mom's house now with a gift of equity. I'm not going to go into mortgage lingo if you don't understand that. We'll do that privately. But the gift of equity. We're going to have mom sell the house for $450 to her son. She owes $240. That means there's a surplus of $210. We're going to take $70 and fix up the house. And the other $140,000 that's left over, Pam wants to purchase his first investment property. Hakeem steps in to be the agent. This was not being explored until, by the grace of God, I was infused into this partnership. You are not exploring this on your own, so that means you might need a little help. Put your pride aside, put your ego on the shelf, and call Paul, and I'll help you. If you don't, let me know if this works. You can do it on your own. You don't need me. But this guy went 5 years without getting a single thing from his partner. 5 years. Are any of you closing deals from your financial advisor? If you say yes, you don't need me. If you say no, then we should probably have additional calls. Okay. Questions on any of this? Now, here's where I go into a client profile. This is a personal profile. This is a client profile. Watch this. How many of you are closing deals from divorce attorneys? Lisa, you're in Georgia, right? Listen, gang, Carlene, do the same homework. Sherry, do the same homework. Ronaldo, do the same homework. There are 326 licensed divorce attorneys in Atlanta, Georgia. 326. If each divorce attorney does 10 divorces a year, that's over 3,000 divorces in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know if you guys are aware, but when somebody gets divorced, they have to sell, buy, or cash out refi to get rid of the ex. 2 out of 3 a real estate agent makes money on. 326 divorce attorneys in Atlanta, Georgia alone. I'm not telling you to pursue them, attack them, stalk them. I'm sharing a fire hydrant with you. You are not paying attention. Pandemic, pivot, profit. Number one reason for divorce, financial distress. Can we agree that maybe some of us are in a little bit of financial challenging times right now? Gang, credit card debt is up to $1.3 trillion. It has never been this high. It was climbing with the last administration. It has not stopped with this one. 1.3 trillion. Automobile delinquency, all-time high. Never been this high. Do you think that might cause some additional marital stress? And yet you're trying to find that next buyer or seller when the divorce attorney has them lined up. Fire hydrants we're not even paying attention to. Guess what? Ham is a divorce attorney. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. He is a family law attorney that works in a large family law firm. And his sister is taking her real estate license to become a real estate agent. And Hakeem is expanding his team. I can't make this up. So now Dre is going to get Cam to have us 3 do a presentation for his family law firm. And you're trying to find the next buyer or seller. Gang, I invest most of my time into my partnerships. I chase the partnership, not the profit. When I chase and nurture the partnership, the profit takes care of itself. Look at this. I now got a mortgage out of this. So he's honoring his partnership. I've gotten a mortgage out of this. I'm about to get a second mortgage out of this. Hakeem is about to get a purchase out of this. Hakeem is now going to meet the sister that wants to become part of his team, and we get to do a presentation in front of the family law firm. And you're trying to find a buyer or seller. If you don't get me, it's because you're not getting this. I'm not being disrespectful. I want to make this quite clear. It took me 7 years to get a 4-year degree. I'm not smarter than anybody on this call. I promise you. My IQ isn't worth mentioning. My SAT scores were below 500. I am not smarter than anybody on this call. The only difference between you and I is that I implement what I teach very quickly. Like at light speed. I'm 57. I need to be paid for talent, not time, because I don't have as much time. And I'm not going to accuse the economy for the lack of production. This has nothing to do with interest rates, inflation, or inventory. If you've bought into that, you're right where they want you. I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to take questions from you guys. If I lied to you, never come back to my calls. If you don't see the money there, let me give you a different pair of glasses. It is sarcasm, slightly, but tell me what's missing. If you came to this call, why wouldn't you want to implement this immediately? Carlene, what are your thoughts, honey?
You knew I was about to say something.
I saw it in your face. You're like crinkling a little. I'm like, all right, let me go after her.
No. Okay, first of all, I'm older than you, so I have even less time.
You look better than I do, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. And I also don't believe in coincidences. And when I first was exposed to Felicia on an EXP call, she mentioned something about attorneys, and I was like, in terms of estate planning. So I was like, I have one attorney. I try to kind of work with her. She was a friend of mine and a client of mine when I owned my spa, which is why I look how I look. I've got a huge network of people. But she never referred anyone to me, and I brought her several clients. So I was like, you know what? It's time to revisit that. So I did a quick search and some names came up and I got sidetracked. And literally within 24 hours, I got a friend request from an attorney that I didn't know existed, who was a family law estate planning attorney. Within another like day or two, his tab was still open on my my browser, because I was like, okay, I need to, she said I need to bring him a client. And I got a call off of Google from somebody who was contemplating a divorce and wanted to know what his house was worth. And I was the
Carlene,
only person who replied to him. So I had a great conversation. He's not going to, doesn't really want to sell his house. He wants to keep it. But I talked to him about the market. We did all this. And I said, I think you need to have a conversation with an attorney regarding the divorce laws, because that's outside of my scope. And I referred this man who friend requested me. So I got an email the Friday before, and he said he was meeting with him next week, which was this past week. So I have it sitting here that I need to reach out to this attorney this week. So, and here I am on your call. So there are no coincidences. So
so I
now,
believe that as well. That's absolutely phenomenal. Talk about a fire hydrant right there.
yeah, this is clearly, and I've been praying. It's like, okay, make sure I stay on the path, make sure I stay aligned to your plan and don't follow the wrong shiny objects. And here I am on your call. So,
Wow. I just got chills when you mentioned that. Holy smokes. So,
yeah,
gang, I agree with Carlene as well. There's no such thing as a coincidence. I think everything is a God incidence. So,
totally.
if you
Amen.
believe the same thing I do, and this is a God incidence and it happened, my next question would be, how dare you ignore what God put in front of you?
Right, right. Oh, I'm not going to.
Well,
I'm getting my goosebumps. I just want to
Carlene,
make sure that I'm using the right words now when I
yeah, give
call
me your
this.
phone number. Give me your phone number, Carlene.
It's 239-223-9454.
So I'll call you later today and we can role play if you like on the phone. I'll also
That'd be great.
record that and then send you the recording.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you so
Tell
much.
my wife that because she doesn't think the same thing that you guys do. But so nonetheless, so the thought process, gang, what Carlene just mentioned is happening all the time. And Felicia, I've been with her for many years. I've coached her for about 3 years. She got 3 listings last week from probate attorneys. Nothing to do with inflation, inventory, or interest rates. Why are we subscribing to that? Well, because the politicians, the media, the marketplace, they've kept telling you that, so you buy into it. And I'm like, nope, pandemic, pivot, profit. The government is doing a wonderful thing for us. You know what they're doing? They are getting rid of every lazy part-time agent that you and I could not get rid of. The government's doing a great job. They're wonderful. I love them. Pay attention. Don't run from that. Don't fear that. Identify, aha, they're going to make it so only the best agents are left. Thank you so much. Because guess what? Paul Conti's been doing this for 20 years. You know what most realtors complain about? Other realtors all the time. This lazy, no good, doesn't get back to me. They're terrible. They don't know what they're doing. I hear it all the time. Our industry has the bar too low. If you watch HGTV and you can write a check and pass the test, you're an agent. What? So now the thought process, your actionable items from today would essentially be, okay, this makes perfect sense. How do I implement that? This is where the private coaching or the one-on-one. So what I do on these calls is give you the overarching umbrella, the obviousness, the God incidents. Now you got to say, okay, thank you, Lord, for doing that. Give me the strength, the character, the integrity, the drive, what I need to do to capitalize on what you just brought to me. Do not let me let that go in one ear and out the other. Now, if this doesn't make sense, then don't come back to my calls. I'm wasting your time. I look at the market, I look at the economy, I pray just like most of you do. And I'm like, Lord, you got to help me. This is beyond me. And then by the grace of God, as everything is, he infuses me with the knowledge and the ability and the charisma to share with you so that we can do this together. That simple. Don't let the media or anybody else cloud what God gave a clear path for you to see. To me, that's insanity, absolute insanity. Ronaldo, any questions before we part? So
Is it
Dan,
okay to bring a wine to a client that I'm meeting today?
So I
Is it
don't bring, I bring money, not in a brown bag because I'm Italian. I bring a client. I bring a client. I don't bring food or things like that because the client you gave me paid my mortgage. The bottle of wine I paid you gave you a headache. It didn't pay your mortgage. It has to be in like kind. So think about this. If I want this person to give me a client, I must give them a client. I have to start that off properly in order for the law of reciprocity to work. Then I need to teach that person what to do to reciprocate on the spot. On the spot. You don't let them go and then complain about a month later, I never got anything from him. What did you teach him? Well, I gave him a client, but he never gave me one back. He said, thank you. He might take you to lunch. No, it doesn't work that way, gang. It doesn't work that way. If what
No,
I said makes sense.
I'm actually asking about a client, an actual client that I'm about to see today for a consultation. He's a neighbor,
So,
but
okay,
yeah.
we have to have a private call. I'll role play with you. Again, I don't know enough of this story. Is
Okay.
it a client
Yeah,
you're
yes.
trying to get you to sign them?
Yes.
Okay. Much deeper conversation, and we are at 10:30. I have my next call, but
Okay.
take my number down, 856.
Oh, no, I got your number already.
Okay, then you better call me later on this afternoon, Ronaldo. I got
Yes.
back-to-back coaching calls. I'll be freed up after one. Carlene, I'll give you a shout. Lisa, if you want to talk further, call me.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a great day, everybody. God bless you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
God bless you too. Yeah. Thank you.